Short time ago to Joe Cirincione. He's president of Ploughshares Fund, a global security foundation. The statement issued after that extraordinary full meeting of the Senate stresses the need to impose more sanctions to get the denuclearization. Jeff Koons, we just heard there, talks about how sobering the preparations for the military option were as well. Which tactic will work most, do you think?
There's no question that this has to be solved politically, that you have to have a negotiated solution. And part of the reason is what the senator said. The military option is very sobering, meaning this is not Syria. This is not Afghanistan. You fire a missile into North Korea and they will fire back. And Seoul, a city of 25 million people, is within range of enough artillery tubes and rockets and missiles to devastate the city. We estimate hundreds of thousands of South Koreans would die in the first few hours of a conflict.
28,500 American troops there as well.
Yes.
Japan incredibly worried. Japan already practicing evacuations.
Yeah.
Also, we're hearing about stepping up the defences in Hawaii. I mean, is that all going to be done, do you think, imminently now, before this is resolved?
Yes, but a lot of this is symbolic. For example, THAAD. THAAD can shoot down ballistic missiles under ideal conditions, but the THAAD deployment doesn't actually protect Seoul. It's not within the covered defensive area of this unit. So it's for show rather than an actual defense of 25 million South Koreans. So what you see is two relatively inexperienced, impulsive presidents with massive military capabilities at their command, pushing, trying to convince the other one to back down. Under that situation, a miscalculation, a misunderstanding, a false move could trigger a war that we haven't seen the likes of since the end of the Korean War.
Trump also trying to put more pressure on China. And
yes.
Is China still the key to this? I mean, what sort of leverage did they have over Kim Jong-un's father and grandfather, which perhaps they don't have over this one now?
Well, Korea is absolutely key, but this is not...
So
China is key, but Kim Jong-un is not a puppet of China. He's made a practice of killing pro-Chinese officials in his government, starting with his uncle, who was China's man in Pyongyang, and ending with his half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, who was under Chinese protection. So you can just tell by that what the relationships are. But China has levers, China has economic pressure, even military threats that they've been making lately. But what they want from the U.S. is to meet them halfway. Yes, increase the pressure, but then have the U.S. talk and reach a negotiated solution.
Coal and gas supplies, sanctions on that between China and North Korea. What about the banking system? I mean, would that dry up a lot of the threats, perhaps, from North Korea?
There are more sanctions we could apply. We could do targeted sanctions on the leaders, on the North Korean leaders' bank accounts. We've done that in the past, and they scream, and China could do the same. It'd be dangerous, however, for us to do some of the things they're talking about, secondary sanctions, putting sanctions on Chinese banks. That, ironically, could drive China further away, because then China would look like they were caving in to U.S. pressure if they started to cooperate. So it's a delicate game. Is Trump up for it?
Joe Cirincione, thank you.
Thank you.